structure of ClF3. That is the structure of ClF3 molecule using VSEPR theory. Now what happened here? First of all, we have to determine the total number of valence electron, that is number of valence electron contributed by central chlorine atom, that is equal to, since we know that the chlorine is present in 7th group, so the number of valence electron in chlorine, obviously it is 7, that is 707. Now for ClF bonding, each fluorine atom contribute 1 electron. Therefore, total number of electron contributed by fluorine atom for the bonding will be, that is the number of electrons contributed by fluorine atom will be equal to, now there are 3 fluorine atoms, so 3, and each fluorine atom will contribute 1 electron for the bonding, and therefore we write 3 into 1, that's equal to 3. Now total number of valence electron around the central chlorine around the chlorine will be equal to 7 plus 3, that's equal to 10. So here we can calculate the total number of electron pairs around the central chlorine will be equal to, just we have to divide this quantity by 2. So number 4, total number of electron pairs around chlorine, that will equal to 10 upon 5, 10 divided by 2, you will get 5. So in all here, in case of ClF3, the central chlorine atom is surrounded by 5 electron pair. Now our job is to determine the number of bond pairs and number of lone pairs. Let's see, since here number 5, there are 5 electron pairs, out of which here you see in ClF3 there are 3 ClF bonds. So the number of bond pairs in ClF3 will be equal to 3. So the number of bond pairs, that is BPs, will be equal to 3. Now we can calculate the number of lone pairs just by subtracting this quantity, that is the number of bond pairs, from the total number of electron pairs around the chlorine. So what we get? Number of lone pairs, that's equal to 5 minus 3, that's equal to 2. Now dear friends, in ClF3 there are total 5 electron pairs, out of which 3 electron pairs are the bond pairs and 2 electron pairs are yes, that is the lone pairs, and that is why. Now since the chlorine atom is surrounded by 5 electron pairs, it means that the pairing geometry of molecule would be trigonal bipyramidal. Okay. Now, since there is a presence of lone pairs, along with the bond pairs, ClF3 molecule is not having a regular TBP arrangement. There is a distortion in the geometry. Now let's draw the trigonal bipyramidal geometry. We know that in one plane there is a triangle, equilateral triangle. Okay. There are three atoms present in the equilateral triangle in a TBP arrangement, regular TBP arrangement. One above the triangle and one below the triangle. Okay. Now let's draw the TBP arrangement. Now this is the equilateral triangle, one above and one below. Now dear friends, here in case of ClF3, now there is a problem. There are two arrangements. Now these are the equatorial positions and second one are the axial positions. Now in last lecture we have already discussed that the electron pairs, according to VSEPR theory, the electron pairs oriented in a space around the central atom in such a way as to have minimum repulsive interaction. Now minimum repulsive interaction, in doing so, okay, we have to put these lone pairs in case of TBP arrangement at the equatorial position. When the electron pairs lone pairs, okay, are present in the equatorial position, these lone pair experience less repulsion when they are present at the axial position. Okay. So here let me put these electron pairs, that is the lone pairs, at equatorial position. Yeah. Now the remaining atoms are like this: F, 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 and there is a central Cl. Now since there are two lone pairs which are present, okay, let me draw it again. Cl, F, here there are lone pairs, here F and F. Now because of the presence of these lone pairs along with the bond pairs, so there will be a lone pair repulsion, number one. Again there will be a lone pair bond pair repulsions. And bond pair repulsion would be there. So there are three types of interactions that would occur here. That is lone pair repulsion, lone pair bond pair repulsion, and bond pair repulsion. Now we know that according to rule number 2, when we have seen lone pair repulsion is greater than lone pair bond pair repulsion, which is in turn greater than bond pair repulsion. Now the shape of how the shape would be there. Now because of the lone pair repulsion, lone pair bond pair repulsion, and because of this variation, what happened? This bond, you see, that is axial fluorine atoms, that is FClF. This angle no longer remain 180, but it gets shortened. Okay, how? Let's see here. Because of this lone pair repulsion and lone pair bond pair repulsion are and bond pair repulsion, you see the lone pair repulsion is greater than the lone pair bond pair repulsion. So this angle no longer remain 180, but it gets converged. Okay, slightly converged. So the shape of the ClF3 become, suppose here there is a central Cl, then suppose this is original position of fluorine, axial fluorine. Here there are lone pairs, but it slightly gets tilted, you see. Here there is a fluor. Yet the shape of the ClF3 molecule is T-shaped. Okay. What is the shape of the ClF3 molecule? T-shaped. Do you got my point? Okay. Now let us consider the structure of SF4. As usual, number 1, total number of valence electron contributed by sulfur. Now we know that sulfur is the member of oxygen family. Oxygen family included in group number 6A in long form periodic table. So the total number of valence electron contributed by sulfur will be equal to 6. Okay. Now, number 2. Now each fluorine atom in SF4 to form SF bond contribute 1 electron each. So total number of electrons contributed by fluorine, that's equal to, so there are 4 fluorines, so 4 into 1. Each fluorine contribute 1 electron, so there are 4 fluorine atoms, so this 4 fluorine into 1, so 4 into 1 you will get 4. So total number of valence electron around sulfur, that's will equal to 6 plus 4, that's equal to 10. So we can easily calculate the total number of electron pairs around sulfur, that will equal to 10 divided by 2, that's equal to 5. Now again here, the sulfur atom in SF4 is surrounded by 5 electron pairs. So here, since there are 5 electron pairs around the sulfur, the parent geometry we expected, it should be the trigonal bipyramidal. So let's draw the structure, that is the trigonal bipyramidal structure, like this. Suppose there is a triangle, so this would be the geometry, parent geometry, but still we don't know how many there are bond pairs and lone pairs. Now let us try to calculate the number of bond pairs and the lone pairs. So the number of bond pairs, BPs, that's equal to, since there are 4 SF bond, so obviously it is 4 bond pairs would be there. Now the number of lone pairs and peaks will be equal to 5 minus 4. So it is equal to 1. Now it is clear that in case of SF4 molecule, there are 5 bond pairs around the sulfur. Out of these 5 bond pairs, there are 4 electron pairs. Okay, and these out of the 5 electron pairs, there are 4 bond pairs and 1 lone pair. Okay, now we know that again, in case of TBP arrangement, the lone pair should be placed at equatorial position but not on the axial position. Okay, so let me draw the structure. Suppose here there is a triangle, equilateral triangle, and here there is a sulfur at the center. There is a fluorine, F, 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 and the lone pairs should be placed at equatorial position. Now here you see again, because of the presence of lone pair along with the bond pair in SF4 molecule, the geometry is not a regular trigonal bipyramidal. A distortion has been introduced into the geometry because of this presence of this lone pair. Now, there will be a lone pair bond pair repulsion. See here, that is lone pair bond pair repulsion would be there. At the same time, there will be a bond pair repulsions like this. That is BP repulsion. So there are two types of interactions are there. That is lone pair bond pair repulsion and bond pair repulsion. So here the lone pair bond pair repulsion is greater than bond pair repulsion. So net result is that this angle, that is FSF, that is axial, you see this axis no longer remain here 180 degrees total angle here. I am just measuring this angle is not remain equal to 180 degrees. It is not straight. Why? Because of lone pair bond pair repulsion, which is greater in magnitude as compared to the bond pair repulsion. So this angle, that is axial FSF angle, gets reduced. Again, slightly gets converged inside. So what would be the net shape of SF4 molecule? Suppose here there is a sulfur. Then suppose here it's a original position if you show. Here there is a lone pair. Now here there is one F, here. Now the axial fluorine slightly gets tilted in this direction. So we can say that the shape is a sort of distorted trigonal bipyramidal. Now this angle, you see that this angle gets reduced right from 180 to something less. Okay. Now dear friends, we have considered the shape of the simple inorganic molecule. Now just by using, you have seen that just by using this BSc theory, we can qualitatively determine the shape of the molecule. Very easy. Thank you. Thank you very much.